With the basic law providing, quote, that the courts shall exercise judicial power independently, free from any interference. A guarantee that did not exist in the colonial era when judicial independence was based purely on convention.
香港回歸祖國25年，前刑事檢控專員江樂士喺紫荊文化國際論壇上面談及回歸以後香港嘅法治情況，提及早於港區國安法實施之前，已經有反華嘅西方政客搞局，試圖影響香港海外非常任法官嘅去留。
Starting in 2019, long before anybody had heard of the national security law for Hong Kong, anti-China elements in the United Kingdom's Parliament were calling for British judges to be withdrawn from the Court of Final Appeal, as they imagined this would weaken its capacity to uphold the rule of law. It is certainly true that there have been occasional departures from the Court of Final Appeal's overseas judges. The real story is not that several overseas judges left Hong Kong in the lurch, but that the vast majority of them made it absolutely clear that they are committed to Hong Kong and its people, and that they are determined to continue to dispense justice here. If, however, more overseas judges are required, there should be no difficulty in recruiting them. Apart from the traditional jurisdictions of Australia, Canada, New Zealand and the United Kingdom, there is no reason why judges from elsewhere should not be considered, from places like India, Jamaica or Singapore.
佢亦都提及2019年香港經歷社會動盪，檢控人員承受巨大壓力，更加有大量假新聞破壞社會穩定。呢一系列嘅問題點樣解決？江樂士有啲乜嘢建議？
Now, during the social unrest, the city's prosecutors found themselves under great strain. The protest movement did all it could to demonize prosecutorial decisions and tried to give outsiders the impression that they were not free agents, but Beijing puppets. This, of course, was fallacious, as the central authorities have always scrupulously observed the provisions of the basic law, including prosecutorial independence. However, even though I was the Director of Public Prosecutions for over 12 years after 1997, I was never subjected to any type of pressure from Beijing or by local officials to take particular decisions. Everybody needs to hear that prosecutions in Hong Kong are as fair as ever, that nobody is ever prosecuted unless there is a reasonable prospect of conviction on the available evidence, and that the rule of law is as secure as it has ever been. The police force also needs to be protected from fake news. In 2019, fake news was a powerful tool in the hands of those seeking to harm the city and alarm its people. After, for example, the protest movement claimed that police officers had killed protesters at an MTR station, raped women in custody, tortured suspects, drowned a student protester and blinded an activist, the right of freedom of expression, whether oral or written, is not absolute. Quite clearly, there are red lines that should not be crossed, and people who are concerned about freedom of expression need to understand that the best way of protecting it is by using it responsibly.